Yeah, but we'll try. Yeah, we're live. Hi everybody. Welcome to Facebook Live.
Facebook, YouTube. Oh
YouTube,
yeah, we are. Yes, we are on YouTube. We are on
we are
Facebook.
on
Yeah,
YouTube, we are on
simultaneously.
Facebook. We are correct technically, right? Welcome to
Yeah.
Voices of Courage. I'm Anita here with my partner and my friend Lillian, and we're talking about I am responsible for my life.
Life.
Okay, Lillian, introduce yourself so the whole world loves you.
Yeah, thank you everyone for joining us today. This is Voices of Courage Asia channel. So Anita and I both are partners with at Class Living as well as Women of Courage Asia, which is both our women empowerment platforms. So we contribute back to our community through mentoring, coaching, and a monthly empowerment meeting um, happening every last Tuesday of the month. And yeah, we basically over at this channel, we just want to share life experiences, strategies, practical tips and strategies that you can immediately apply and see that needle shift, in your life for making that change that you want to see and you want to have in your life. Okay, so that's what we do, and we meet and for this channel, we meet every Tuesday and Thursday during lunchtime. Yeah, so here we are.
Yep.
And today we are going to talk about, like what Anita mentioned, responsibility, because we have already covered, I think we have covered most of our core values, the 7 critical core values in the Courage Blueprint. So today is the last one, which is responsibility. Yeah, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. And
Yep.
yeah, it's a heavy word, right? Responsibility. Every time when someone think about the word responsibility, I forgot my notebook.
Okay, why don't you go and get your notebook and I entertain you with this scarf? Okay? Are you gonna
Give me
zoom up for
1
your notebook?
second.
Okay, this is what happens when you go live. And we were actually earlier here. We got a comment. Hey, hi, Amy. How are you? Congratulations on the new business, Amy. It is so wonderful that you got your business going and all that. So, if anybody needs to have bill planning or anything of that sort, please look up for Amy Poe. Okay, she's definitely a friend of ours. And yeah, Amy, thank you for tuning in. And Lillian is back.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to talk about being responsible for our life. I mean, the word responsible, we all understand, right? But many of us react to that word very differently. Okay.
Oh yes, yes.
Yes. Okay. So we're
So
actually
different.
going to have a lot to cover today, but basically, whatever we're going to cover today, actually, let it take a mental note. Let it be a reflection on our lives to see what we are doing is actually, are we really taking full responsibility of our lives?
Mm,
Okay. So,
yeah.
Lilith, let's start.
Yeah, I think when like I agree with what you say when people hear about the word responsibility, right? I think there are certain there may be certain negative emotions that arises from it, or even like fears, because it's fear or avoiding, taking ownership of the responsibility because of the different mindset, like you mentioned, a
Yeah.
different thought, right? Different mindset, and they think that, and that mindset is that they think that they would be blamed for something.
Yes. Yes.
So that's where the negative emotions sets in, because you think that you will be blamed for something. Yeah,
Yep.
but does it really means that, being responsible? I mean, what does being responsible actually means? Yeah. Oops.
Oops. Who was
Okay,
present?
you
Humans
go
want
ahead.
to
You go ahead.
act
Mm.
at one will without any supervision. So basically, being responsible is actually, if I want to bring it back down to children, right? We have children. Sometimes we always tell them, oh, you got to be responsible after you play, right? You must put away your own toys. That constant need to not supervise someone, meaning that I give you something to do, I give you a task, and you take ownership that this is mine, and I will do that task. I will do it to the best of my ability.
Yeah, with or without any supervision. I mean, without any
Yeah,
supervision, you
yeah,
will still do it anyway because you
yeah.
take ownership of that task. And of course, we are now wanting to emphasize a lot about your life. We're talking about
Yes,
courage to be you, ma. So we,
yes,
we're talking about you here. You,
yeah,
who is going to be responsible for your life? Are you going to put your life in the responsibility of circumstances, of events, of people, other people or situations, or you're going to take ownership of your own life? So that is the main thing that we want to be have a conversation about. Okay.
yep.
Yeah. So
So the next point,
mm,
maturity is the ability to take responsibility for your own action and behavior.
yeah.
Yeah,
And behavior for what? Behavior to what?
to
Behavior
respond.
to, yes, yeah, to respond to the situations appropriately based on long term interest rather than
Mm,
immediate gratification. Or even just to avoid, unpleasant situations. So these are the
it's
three things. Yeah.
it is true, right? A lot of time, I don't know. I stand corrected, but I want to say this. Maybe I'm speaking about myself. We rather be followers, meaning that let's say we do a task, and then
Mm,
the boss give it to us,
mm,
okay, and then after we do it, boss say do like that law. So every minute thing, boss say do like that law, or she say do like that law. You
mm,
understand what I'm saying? And then so when if I may use that word, when shit hits the fan, okay,
mm,
not my fault. Everybody hands up, right? It's not my fault. I didn't do it. She say one
mm,
what? She said that. So that is not being responsible.
mm.
That is just being an employee. I feel that's being an employee, just going from month to month, and just getting your salary. That's not. I feel for me personally, I feel that's not even being a team player. You get what I mean?
Mm.
A team
I
player
think again
actually,
it goes back to taking ownership, right?
yeah,
Just now we talk
yeah,
about ownership. Regardless of your position in a company or in an
mm,
organization, regardless of the position that you held, it all goes back to taking ownership of
yeah.
the task of the life. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
exactly what Amy says here. Yes, responsibility to take charge of
mm,
ownership in everything that we
thing
do.
that we do. Yeah, I
Every
like that,
word,
Amy.
I like the
Yeah.
word everything. True, Amy.
Yes.
It's true. I mean, I think it's time for that some sort of maturity, as you said, that
Mm,
we're given a task, and we're not perfect human, and there will be mistakes, and
yeah.
just own up. Just own up, and then that's where the learning happens.
Yeah, I think I want to talk a little bit about the long-term interest and the immediate gratification.
Okay.
Just now what we have talked a little bit was
Mm.
avoiding unpleasant situations, right? So how about,
Yeah.
it reminds me of this the ant and the grasshopper story. The classic, the ant and the grasshopper. One is having a long-term view, long-term plan, while
Yes.
the other one is the immediate gratification, which is the grasshopper. Yeah. So
Yeah. The children story. Yes.
yes,
Yes.
the children's story, where the end will, because it shows also the maturity of these two creatures. One
Yeah.
is working towards the long term. They can delay the gratification, immediate gratification, and work towards storing up. For winter, right? So
Yes.
yeah, I hope our audience know the ant and the grasshopper story. Yeah.
Okay. For those who don't know the ant and the grasshopper, is this the ant is working throughout, storing food for winter, non-stop moving, and the grasshopper is sitting there by the side, looking at the ant and go, "Oh, I still have time." Playing the fiddle. Yeah.
Oh
This
yeah.
grasshopper play is a musician. Okay. So and he just kept delaying it because he thought he had time. He had
Mm,
time. So there are many an ending to this version.
mm.
One ending is the grasshopper died, of course, in winter. Another ending was a beautiful ending, which I like, which I read to my preschool kids, is that the ants actually invited the grasshopper to
Oh,
meet the
that's so
queen.
sweet.
Yeah, to meet the queen where all the food is stored. And then the grasshopper, of course, felt
learn
remorse
learn
and
learn his
didn't
lesson.
die. And
Ah,
and the ants had abundance to share with the
mm,
grasshopper. So the
mm,
grasshopper didn't die during winter. So
yeah,
yes,
yeah. Thanks for that. Very, fast speed version of the ants
yeah.
and the
So Amy
grasshopper.
said, I don't know that. Now you
You
know,
don't
Amy.
know. Now you
Oh,
know.
we love you too, Amy. Amy, you're an ant. You're never a grasshopper, Amy. I've been watching you on Facebook. You're very hardworking and you're very responsible
Hardworking
and
attitude. Oh,
responsible.
we learn from nature. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so yeah, that's a very simple and very simple illustration about
mm,
planning for taking the responsibility and ownership of your life by planning and doing things,
yeah,
working hard towards a long-term interest rather
yeah.
than giving in to immediate gratification, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
So and
another
I,
point you
mm,
have here is action has consequences. So why surprise?
yeah, yep,
I, I, I would
precisely.
ask, I would instead of saying why surprise is
Mm.
why the pride?
Why the
Why
price?
the pride? Because any actions that you do have be it positive or negative. Why the pride? I mean, why? I know we're human. There will be mistakes.
Mm,
I'm in partnership with Lillian, and we have revisited certain issues or certain collaborations so many times,
mm.
and we keep changing and we keep modifying because we have to do better. So it's action we did, it's active action, and I'm not even surprised, that it has consequences. So yeah, why surprise?
Yes, all actions, negative or positive actions,
Yeah.
all will have consequences or results or outcome,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So it's a cause and effect.
Yeah.
That's the law. That's nature's law. So
Yep.
nothing to be surprised of. If you have put in a positive actions, you will yield a harvest a positive results and
Yep.
outcome. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, if it's a negative actions, of course you will have negative outcomes, right?
Yep.
So why surprise?
Yep.
We must get this straight and clear, and know like, oh, I didn't know this is going to happen. I do you hear that? I hear that quite a lot. I didn't know this is going to happen. Oh, then there's a lot of work to be done. Yeah,
I understand.
I personally has gone through that phase as well. So
But
like,
again,
and then but you got to
anything,
be very very honest with ourselves. Really, 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 I don't know that's going to happen. I'm
it's true, right? Action is an active word. I believe action is an active word. The negative of action is procrastination. Okay, that too have consequences. So
yeah.
why are you surprised?
Mm. So I
So
hope our audience, don't leave us right now. Like, oh, these two, they are so every word that you say, they're straight to the heart. I'm
good,
hurt.
good. It's true. We're not here. Lillian, we are taking time out of our crazy, crazy time. This morning, how many times did we bing bong back on WhatsApp? Sending Google links. I read it until like, Lillian needs to go to the toilet. Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
but you get what I
working.
mean? Keyboard warriors this morning, right? So we're taking time here actually to empower another person, to empower another lady. So, if it's going to go straight and pierce straight into your heart, I'm glad you're feeling that, because it means that it does resonate to you. Okay, so your action or inaction do have consequences. So please don't be surprised either way.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
we. And
what did Albert Einstein have to say about this?
oh yeah, I love what he said. He said man must cease attributing his problems to his environment and learn again to exercise his will, which is his personal responsibility. Yeah, actually, when I come to learn about this core value, right? Because we are in the business of cultivating core values in our lives, right?
Yes.
Um, Now, this was one area, one core value that yeah I really struggle to like
Mm.
take ownership. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
easier said than done, because like yeah like you said, it's an action word. A lot of things require
Yeah.
action, and you mean
Yeah.
what you say and you say what you mean, and
Yeah.
yeah, so it's a core value that really requires time to cultivate. and a lot of awareness and support from people around us who love us, who are willing to give us constructive feedback. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So if I didn't receive all those constructive feedback, right?
Yeah.
Hard love, like the tough love or whatever you call it. Yeah, but it's good. It's
Yeah.
good because then
Correct.
I learn. Then I learn if,
Yeah.
if they don't care enough to tell me, then I will always be, living in those blind spots. Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm
Yes.
really very appreciative of all of you, all those who know me. If you have given any form of constructive feedback for me in my
Mm.
life, I want to say thank you for helping me to grow, right?
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
True. Well, and then it's true. I mean, to rephrase Albert Einstein's to make it more Singlish and Singaporean, stop tai
Mm.
chiing around. Okay, don't qigong and tai chi away. Okay,
Yeah.
that's the most Singlish version I can give you. Because seriously, let's take let's stop blaming and just take personal responsibility because this is your life. No one can tell you what to do or force you to do something you don't want to. So
Yeah.
let's take
Yeah. They
responsibility.
can tell you what to do, but it's up to you whether you want to
Yeah,
do it or not, right?
it's
It's
up
still
to
your
you.
choice. It's still your
Yeah,
choice. Yeah.
yeah.
So when people fail to take responsibility for their own actions, how one common thing happens.
The
The
qigong,
blame game begins.
the tai chi. 不是我的，
There's always like a
不是我的。
scapegoat. You always
Yeah,
find there's
yeah,
always
yeah.
a scapegoat nearby. Nothing is your fault. Yeah.
As I said
So
earlier, right?
mm.
Yeah, lah, the boss said do like that, I do like that. Lor.
So here, I mean, jokes aside,
Yes.
on a serious note, um, this is something very serious because once you start going on this blame game, right?
Yeah.
Seriously, that's refusing to face up to the consequences, right? Just now we talk about actions have consequences, and if you deny that you go into self-denial, and not taking ownership of the consequences, um, your actions, it depends on what kind of action, because your action could possibly put you in jail, or your life is threatened, or other people's life will be threatened by your actions.
Yeah.
So this is not something that we want to joke about it, yeah,
Yeah.
because when it comes to more serious consequences, life
Yes.
threatening consequences, it's not a joke anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm,
And then also understand that when you don't take responsibility and you start the blame game, it becomes a habit. It
mm,
becomes a habit and becomes part of you. And you don't want people to think or have the impression about you that, hey, guess what? This
mm,
Anita, forever one. If there's a problem, she Tai Chi queen. You get me? You do not want to have that kind of label.
mm.
To be
Yeah.
upon you. I believe genuinely in my heart that all of us want to show a good impression of ourselves, right?
Mm.
So you don't
Yeah.
want to cause anything to cause that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So like we mentioned, you are responsible for your life. We
yeah,
are responsible for our lives, and
that's
the
it.
outcome and the results, it depends on the choices that we
Mm,
make, right? So
yeah,
there's one thing that I do respect. Even because we do our community service in prison
yes,
work, right? Yeah, the prison work and all that. There are many people that I actually respect for their maturity, and not beating themselves up for the mistakes that they make, but out
mm,
of that whole experience, right? Because they are humble enough,
mhm,
and learn from their mistakes, they are
yes,
now inspirational, mentors and coaches that are empowering others, yeah, because of
yes,
what they have
yes,
learned in it through their mistakes.
mm,
So I also want to encourage those of us who have, because we are not perfect being, right? We will make
yeah,
mistakes. Don't beat yourself up for the mistakes and then that's it, yeah, and condemn yourself. Don't
yeah,
Please don't do that. Yeah,
yeah,
we learn, we continue to learn from
yeah.
our mistakes and pick ourselves up. Okay.
And and then
Yeah,
I like this. Responsible people do what they say. Responsible people do what they say they
they
do
will
because
do.
they say they will do. Period.
Good. Yes.
And then
They
I
do
feel,
what they said they will do, and they do it. Period.
and then I feel that you don't have to say yes to the big ones. If you
Mm.
feel that you feel that this task is too monumentous for you, you don't have to say yes to it. But you can say to the smaller, you say, okay, it looks like a huge cake. Can I just try the small slice first?
Mm.
And
Yeah.
that's being responsible. That's being honest and responsible. Don't
Yep.
just yeah. I mean yeah. And then the outcome is the boss wants the big cake, the 3-tier cake, and all you could offer was a small slice.
Mm.
So that's not being
And
responsible.
yeah, so I said that this core value is quite challenging for me when I
Mm,
was in my when I jumpstart on this the self discovery journey, right?
mm,
Because I learned through the journey, I learned about my fears and my
yes,
my coping mechanism, like and my personality, that
yes,
fear of conflicts, fear of confrontation, right?
yep,
So and that resulted me to not taking the courage to say no, right?
mm,
Because just now you say there are people with this personality, or this habit of not able to say no. If you
yeah,
and then you, because just because you fear you offend that person, or
yes,
your no will create a problem or create a
yes,
conflict, create a confrontation, then
yep,
you say yes, but then in your heart you meant no, and then you ended up couldn't fulfill
yep,
your promise. So
yep.
yeah, that is a pattern that you don't want to be stuck in. Yeah.
But if you
So
notice that pattern, that is
mm,
clarity for you. That is
yes,
feedback
yes.
for you. And then take
Mm,
a step back and go, why am I always saying yes and
yeah.
cannot fulfill the 3-tier cake?
Mm,
So
yeah.
something to take stock
Awareness, right?
on. The
Yeah.
awareness. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the
So
collateral.
there is a correlation between maturity and responsibility, and I thought that this seven characteristics of a mature person will help us to take a mental note and
Yeah.
really reflect, take a mental note and then reflect on these seven characteristics, do a self awareness check in. Let's do a
Yeah.
self awareness check in.
Yes.
Are we you know how mature are we? There's of course it's a growth, it's a scale, right? So we are
Yeah.
all learning. All right, we're going to emphasize, don't don't be a perfectionist, like, yeah, it's always on a scale. All right. Yes, so let's jump into this seven characteristics of a mature person, because it's a correlation between maturity and responsibility.
So it
Yeah.
says here a mature person is able to keep long term commitment,
Mm.
ability to delay immediate gratification. So be the end, not the
Yeah.
grasshopper. Be the end.
Yes, yes. Yeah. So that's point number one. Take note, yeah? Take note, right? You can all,
Yeah.
I mean, if you are watching this on uh replay subsequently, if you're not fast enough to take down the note, screenshot or whatever, yeah. Yeah, just watch the replay. That's the
Yeah.
best way to do that.
Second
Okay,
one,
number two.
number
Mm.
two, a mature person is unshaken by
Mm.
flattery or criticism. They are secure in their
Yes.
identity. That is wow. That is
Yeah.
a wow.
Yeah. If you notice yourself that you are very affected by either compliments or criticism, that's a feedback for yourself. All right, because and those compliments or criticism actually will affect you, will sway you into a distorted view of yourself, because
Yeah.
both it's a double-edged sword. Compliments,
Yeah.
yeah, some people are so flattered by it, they fly up to cloud nine and then lost in the air. Yeah. And then the pride gets ballooned up. Yeah. Or
Okay.
criticism, so your defense of your wall, straight away comes up, and then you are ready to fight,
Yeah. Battle mode.
in
Battle
battle
mode.
mode. Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, is self-awareness check-in here, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How often do you notice that pattern in yourself? But
Yeah.
if there
Yeah.
is
Either
this
way, right?
frequent, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
if this automatic response is so frequent,
Yeah.
right, you really want to take a look at your identity, whether you are
Mhm.
secure in your identity, because a mature person will not be shaken by criticism or compliments, or
Flattery.
flattery words. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm, yes.
Next, number 3,
A mature person
humility.
possess a spirit of humility. Yeah. Just now we talked a little bit about humility.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like
Humility
this
doesn't
saying,
mean
right?
the person. Yeah, sorry, go on. For me, I feel that humility doesn't mean that the person. When you're humble, it doesn't mean that you're person. No lah, not me lah. Yeah, no lah, 不是我 lah, 不是我. No, it's not that. Again, it goes back to point number 2. You're very secure in who you are, and you're
Mm,
humble about it. Okay, And and,
mm,
and I feel that there is a difference between
mm,
humility and self-denying, if there's such a word.
mm.
Go on.
Yeah, and I want to add on to that is that humility isn't thinking less of yourself, but it is
Mm,
actually thinking of yourself less.
okay.
Yeah, it's not about thinking less of yourself. It's
Mm,
thinking of yourself less. That means you think more about others. You're not consumed with drawing attention to yourself. It's like everything is like me, I, myself. Yeah. So it's not about that. Okay, and you are confident. A person who is humble is able to appreciate and embrace compliments without having their ego you know um, taking over. Yeah, you're able to acknowledge, you're able to thank and be thankful
yep,
for that compliment, for the job well done. All right. So yeah, so
that's
that's
nice.
that's that point there. Mm,
4, a
yeah.
mature person's decision are based on character, not feelings. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Can you imagine if it's based on feelings? Wow,
Mm.
every day is a different weather, man. Every day is a different compass.
Yeah, like
Non-stop
walking on you're walking on a
eggshells.
landmine actually.
Yeah, and the people around you be walking on eggshells because they think that, wow, today we do not know what her or his what call it emotions will be, right? Whether it be
Mm.
happy or be angry. Oh, that's so unfair. That's such a toxic person to have in your life.
I used to be very emotional. Everything that I do, right, is so emotionally led. Yeah. So that was one area that I learned and I discovered and learned about myself. So that's why we're so important in cultivating our core values, which is why we're doing this core value series now,
Mm.
right? Yeah, core value. Your character should be the master of your emotions.
Yeah,
Your whatever decision you make are guided by your principles and your core values, not your
yeah.
emotions.
But you're also guided by the fact that you're also teachable. Okay,
Mm.
we don't want to be prideful and then
The
my way is
humility,
the
yeah,
way. Yeah, you have to be humble. Yeah.
yeah.
So
Mm.
next one,
Number
5.
5.
A mature person expresses gratitude constantly. Very easy in the second
Yes.
personality.
Right. There's one phrase that goes on in your head that you want to take note of. Okay, self-awareness check-in is, do you tell yourself I deserve it all the time? You know? Or do you have this conversation in your head that what, I'm so thankful for this happen. I'm thankful, and or oh, I'm so fortunate than
Mm,
those who are less fortunate. So what kind of conversations are you having in your head?
mm,
Because only you know, right? This one is
yeah,
yeah, for our self-awareness check-in. Do you constantly hearing yourself, I deserve it, I deserve it?
mm,
Or you are thankful, I'm thankful, okay,
yeah.
I'm grateful. Yeah. So that's that point. Let's move on. Point
And
number 6. Yes.
a mature person knows how to prioritize others before themselves.
Mm,
Find a need and meet it. Again, it speaks of the character and the humility of the person, right? They think less of themselves.
yes. So yeah,
Nice.
it's thinking less of yourself and not thinking yourself less, not thinking
Thinking
less of yourself.
yourself, yeah, thinking of yourself less.
Less. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. So because you want to take care of yourself, you need to think about yourself, but
Yeah,
don't think too much of yourself.
yeah.
Yeah.
But again, and they prioritize others before themselves, which is nice because it shows that this person has a growth mindset. It shows that this person, when we move, we want to move as a team so we can go far, right? So
Yes.
it's nice. It's nice. I like this person actually.
Mm.
Yeah.
Next, and the last characteristics of a mature person,
Seek
seeks
wisdom
wisdom before
before
acting.
acting.
Yeah.
And the word seek wisdom is actually taking time off,
Mm,
take a step back, recap,
mm,
reevaluate, or maybe even seeking counsel with
mm.
someone in respect and go, hey, this idea I have or this action I have to do, what do you think? So
Yeah.
for me that's really, really nice.
And I learned also that, the more I learn, the more I learn that I don't know. There's a lot of things that I don't know, as we grow and learn.
Yeah,
So yeah, don't presume that you know all the answers in the world.
yeah,
There's a lot of
yeah,
things that we don't know, and the more we learn, the more we
yeah.
realize, oh gosh, there's so much I don't know.
It's a journey, right? I mean, as I say, personal development is a journey. I mean, we may have all the head knowledge, but until there's application, when there's life situation that happens to us, then it's how we apply it. Then you can see whether you're responsible, whether you're affected, or are you a team player, or are you a tai chi king.
Yeah. So going back to just now, the point, right? Is
Yeah.
that voice? Do you have that voice? I deserve it. I deserve it. I deserve it. Now
Mm.
you want to check with yourself whether do you always hear yourself say, "I know lah, I know, I know, I know, I know, I know." I know.
I don't
Is that
know.
everything you know? Yeah. So if you hear yourself, when someone shares something and your immediate response is, "I know lah," oh, that's feedback for yourself, right?
Yeah.
So be teachable. Every time I revisit something, a principle, a framework, or a talk, or someone who share, or a podcast, or whatever, every time I hear something again, I
Yes.
always learn something new from that same
Wonderful.
message.
Yeah.
So be like what Anita say, have a growth mindset, be teachable,
Yeah.
be humble,
Yeah.
because at different season of our life, our perspective is very different. So few years down the road, when you hear this message, you will get this thing out from it. But few years down the road, you hear the same message, you will get a different thing out from the same message. And that's
True.
the beauty of this. I don't even know what to call it. Yeah, this journey of
True.
learning.
This
Yeah.
journey of life, this journey of
Mm,
learning, we don't want to be stagnant water. I
yeah.
feel that when we are stagnant water, a few things happen. It's nice, it looks calm, but after some time it smells. After sometimes there is awful mosquitoes breeding in there. You might even get dengue. Hello, and something you don't want to get is dengue. So yeah,
Yeah.
you really want to be, you want to be a source of life to people around you. You want to be the source of encouragement, a source of hope. Sometimes, if you can, to the people around you, you do not want to be a burden. That's how I feel it.
Yeah. So let's just do a recap because time is very short. We don't want to take up too much
Yeah.
of our audience time. So let's just do a recap. The few points that we want to drive across for
Yeah.
this episode is take responsibility and ownership of your life. Okay, it's
Yes.
your life. It's very precious, very valuable. Please take ownership and live
After that,
out the best of your life.
stop
Yes,
the Tai Chi.
stop the blame
Stop
game.
the Tai Chi. We are not Chi Kong King and Queens. Thank you. Stop it. Stop
Yeah.
it.
Just acknowledge any mistakes and
Yes.
choices made that led to that consequence, and then it turns out to be unpleasant, but just learn from it, learn from
Yeah.
those mistakes and consequence, and move on, right?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
move on. Move on by not beating yourself up for the mistakes and setback. I mean, we have to move on. Think about it, if you cannot bake the 3-tier cake, as I said earlier, and you're only capable at this season for a slice, but guess what? When you keep being responsible for that slice, eventually you build the first tier, second tier, third tier. So it's a learning journey and it can happen. It's how
Yes,
you
be faithful with the little things first.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
practice
exactly.
cultivating a habit of, being faithful of the little things, taking responsibility of the little things. Yeah,
Once
don't
you're
beat yourself up.
responsible, again, exactly. Take courage to learn.
Courage.
Yeah, and grow in maturity. Choose to be. I mean, if you're listening to this, that shows that you do have a need or desire to grow
Mm,
in maturity, and you have a desire to be more responsible. Perhaps those are listening there now are already responsible, but how do we elevate up? Okay,
It's
how do we
always
elevate up? Yeah,
continuous learning and growing, right?
yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
So yeah, that's about all that we want to share with you
we
today. I
got
think
some
that that's
comments
quite
from
a lot.
Amy. Yes, interesting topics. Yes.
Yes, very, very
Okay,
interesting.
thank you.
Yeah.
And finally, Amy, appreciate it. Have a great day anytime, Lynn. Yeah, you too, man,
Thank
Rainbow Girl.
you. Thanks for
You
joining
too,
us,
Rainbow Girl.
Amy.
Yeah, thank you
Yeah.
for following us. That's so nice. And thinking about that,
Mm,
look,
ta-da!
we
We have to show our.
have to show our. Today I'm wearing it like a beak. Okay.
And
Lida
today
has
I'm,
this.
I'm I'm lazy, so I just wrap it and I just tie a knot, and there you
It
go.
doesn't look lazy. This looks lazy. Yours looks responsible. Okay. And you need to find out more about the scarf. We have
Yeah,
a monthly
and
empowerment meeting that's going to happen. There's a bundle going on, so you can click onto our website. Okay, be it Women of Courage Asia or Class Living. Get the bundle because anything you purchase will go back to the community. 100% will go back to the community
yeah, we
because we
support
are
the
volunteers.
community work.
We don't
Yeah.
take, there's no admin charge. We don't even take a cut. 100% goes back to the community. 100%. And if you feel they're irresponsible, or you think you're borderline a Tai Chi queen, or you feel that you're given a huge cake to bake and you're only capable of a slice, book a clarity call with Lillian. She will either demolish the Tai Chi, bring in the maturity, and hopefully with a clarity call, you can build a three-tier cake to be a very responsible person. Okay,
Let's just have a conversation, right? Let's
let's
just have
have
a
a
conversation
conversation.
to explore what are the things that can, bring clarity back into your life. Yeah.
Yeah, it's responsibilities. I know we're talking a lot about work and everything. It can be about your own personal journey, or even as a parent. Yeah, even as a parent or as for your family. Lilian, your baby. Let's talk about babies.
Yeah, we are getting closer and closer to our boot camp, which we
Yes.
are very, very excited, looking forward to it,
Yep.
right? And actually, I want to do a special shout out because we do what you call that, do our community work at the girls' home, right? And we reach out to the
Mm.
youth and all that. Yeah, so we really hope that some of these youth can actually attend the boot camp, and
Yeah.
but there's some of them are actually working. They are working part-time. They are making progress in in developing their lives, building up their lives. So we do hope that for those of you who want to support them, take a look at our website, okay, the web page, which you can actually download a copy of the sponsorship deck. Yeah, take a look how you can support another woman or another young woman to the boot camp, so that they can jumpstart their journey in discovering and exploring and becoming the best version of themselves and
Yeah.
living out their dreams. Mm,
Yeah. If you can support one of these girls, it will really be great because,
yeah,
yeah, again, you're paying it forward, right? You're paying forward for the future generation where these girls can have a better responsibility, have a better mindset, have a better growth. Okay, so
mm,
another woman, who knows, to be another woman that will thank you. Says because somebody believed in me and invested in
yeah.
me. That's why I'm here
And they
today.
would be that next inspirational role model for their generation, that
Yeah.
see if they have the support of mentors around them, the
Yep.
community support around them, their
Yep.
lives
Oh,
can
kind
turn
people.
around. Yes. Yeah. So if you want to know more about what we do in the boot camp, 3 days, full 3 days immersion at Changi Cove Hotel,
Yeah.
and then 90 days of post boot camp support, right, to ensure that you take intentional action towards your
Yes.
goal Okay, and we're going to journey together. So wonderful, wonderful, exciting
Yeah.
time ahead. Right.
We are leaving the website there so that
Yeah.
all information you need is there, is clear.
Yeah.
Um,
Just click on
just
the link.
click, yeah, and you have the heart for it, please. If you can come, wonderful. If you can't, bless someone. Okay, bless someone whom you feel that that really deserve this. And on that note, we'll see you again this next week, Tuesday and Thursday.
Thursday. Yes.
Yeah,
Thursday. Yeah.
yeah. Tuesday
So
and Thursdays. We'll see you next week. And
this week.
no, see you Thursday. We see you.
You're zooming. You're teleporting yourself.
I'm in my back kitchen. I just wanted a new view today, and it's a great view. I get
Yeah.
different sunlight lighting. I'm sweating like crazy.
All
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Anyway,
Thank you, lady. Thank you, everyone, for joining
thank
us.
you for
We'll see you again on
listening.
Thursday. Yeah.
Thank you, Amy. Oh, your
Yeah.
sweetheart. Love you,
Bye.
darling. You take care. All the best to the
Bye.
business, darling.
Bye
Okay,
bye.
bye.